I'm Mayor Diana Broderson, and welcome to Our City. Thank you for joining us here today on this, our final show. We would love to share with you some highlights of the Our City show, which began on April 17th of 2018 and ends today after 137 episodes and over 250 guests from our community, sharing their gifts and talents with their programs, projects, and efforts to create a better Muscatine. We began the Our City show by highlighting city departments and sharing with you each of them that provides services into the community. Our first show featured Christy Corpy with the transfer station and Kevin Jennison, the city's communications manager. Let's take a look back. Good evening, Muscatine, and welcome to Our City. We are so excited to bring this program to you, and thank you so much for joining us. We have taken this opportunity to share with you things that we think that people living in Muscatine need to know and want to know, and that will make all of our lives easier and make us be able to access some things that maybe we didn't even know about. So tonight we have a special guest with us, Christy Corpy, the City of Muscatine Solid Waste Manager. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right.
That's the official title.
Good. We are so lucky to have you because you are going to be embarking on a new stage of your life in a few weeks.
I am. I'm getting ready to retire.
We have Kevin here with us, Kevin Jennison. He is the City of Muscatine's Marketing and Communications Director. We highlighted city departments on the show. Melanie Alexander with the Art Center was here 7 times, and a couple of them she even brought with her Chuck Swanson with the Hancher Auditorium. After Christy Corpy retired, we had with us Dave Popp with the transfer station. He came twice and talked about cleanup week. Staff from the Musser Public Library have joined us 5 times, including Director Pam Collins and Betty Collins. We had a special treat with them too. We got to go to the moon. But today's July 20th, and there's a big significance to that, because July 20th of 1969 was the official time that we landed on the moon, and we're here to celebrate the 50th anniversary of that. And I hate to tell you, I remember that day.
And so do I, Mary.
Yeah. And we have Betty Collins here. The Musser Public Library has put together a wonderful event celebrating the 50th anniversary of landing on the moon. We talked to John Cook with the Water Resource and Recovery Facility, formerly the Water Pollution Control Plant. And oh my goodness, Parks and Recreation have been a frequent guest on the talk show about their amazing programs. Rich and his team have attended a record 10 times. They have a lot going on. Then we had the fire department with Chief Evers and his team talking about fire prevention and ambulance services. Lots going on there too. We had the Muscabus with Amy Fortenbacher. And then the Muscatine Police Department. Chief Talkington and his team talked about animal control. The Muscatine Development and Housing Department has been on here several times, as well as our own city producer, Chad Yoakum, talking about the home ownership class. And don't forget Public Works Department with Brian Steinman and his team. And then we introduced you to our new city administrator, Carol Webb. But that's not all. We had elected officials, Osmond Malcolm, John Gendrich, Dennis Fraley, and Kelsey Brackett, who also talked about the Soapbox Derby. Then Councilwomen Peggy Gordon and Nadine Brockert, they talked about council, they talked about the dog park, the Lions Club, and most recently, they have presented monthly updates on the Grandview Revitalization Project. We highlighted county stuff, like the Sheriff's Office. Dale McCrae retired. Now we have Randy Spees. And then we had the Muscatine Auditor on. Leslie Soul retired. And then we had Tybee Vanderlinden. We had our emergency management and Muscom on, formerly Matt Shook. We had our former Muscom manager, and then we had Brian Wright. Then we had Muscatine County Community Services. Boy, we've had a lot of retirees. We have Felicia Toppert now. And then we also had Veterans Affairs from the county, as well as Muscatine County Conservation and the Arboretum with Michelle Burns and Charles Rickey. They reported on their services many times.
So
and
actually,
who can
what'd you bring
forget
us?
baby
I brought a
butterfly?
butterfly here, and this is a butterfly that's tagged.
Yes.
And
Where's the tag?
right here on the side.
Oh, there, I see it. It's over here on this side by me.
It's about the size of your fingernail,
Uh-huh.
and that's what's going to identify that butterfly when it gets to Mexico.
Okay.
And anyways, they don't know
Hand
exactly.
it here and I'll hold it up here.
I see.
There's-
Do you see the tag? See that white
Yeah, we got to
circle?
get that number because that's the one we're going to let go. So.
Safe travels, baby. Then we talked to Ted Maroff from Wilton about the Muscatine County Freedom Rock. It's an amazing project. Couldn't wait to share that with you. But we also highlighted community organizations like United Way with Shane Orr and his team. They do a great deal of work. Nicole Sorgenfry talked about the summer lunch program. Then the Community Foundation, we had Charlotte Schaefer, Jean Pfeiffer from the Muscatine Legal Services. And Iowa Workforce Development came on a couple different times. We worked with Allison Ritchie on the Mayor's Job Fair. And don't forget Sister Cities with President John DeBeat. We had folks from the Chamber, Greg Jenkins. Several of their people came and talked about the programs and services. Shelley Sides, Eric Reeder. We talked to Holly with the Muscatine County Child Abuse Council. And don't forget the YMCA. Oh my goodness, that counts for Big Brother, Big Sister. Character development, family programs, Special Olympics, all kinds of things going on at our Y. Special Olympics is dear to all of our hearts. We also talked to the school district and heard from Ricky Jara about some of the vaccination processes they're going through, and Tony Tone. Clint Christopher's our current superintendent of Muscatine Community Schools. And we talked to each one of the new board members they got on, Karen Cooney and Dennis Schur. MCSA has a lot of projects in our community. We didn't want you to miss that. Even domestic violence with Judy Yates. Scott Dahlke's their current director. And then Rosa Mendoza, the most lovely lady there is, talking about the Diversity Service Center. And Sunnybrook and the Alzheimer's Walk. Many of us work on these projects each year. New Horizons, we had Paula Lavasser, also recently retired. And MCC, Dr. Dee Winter and her team talked about all kinds of stuff with us. We had Rotary and we had Kiwanis. We also got to hear from the History and Industry Center, the Pearl Button Museum. Senior Resources shared with us Joni Axel, and MPW on their recycling, Paul Burback. Everybody knows Paul. Angie Johnson with Trinity Muscatine, and Chris McGinnis. Always like to talk to her with the Humane Society. And Jim Meenan was the editor of the Journal and came and visited with us. Flickinger Learning Center, Danny Zumwalt. And the credit union does a lot of different things with their random act of kindness. We had Frank Iliff and Friends of the Old Barn with John Haskins and the League of Women Voters, Sue Johansson. We had Cheryl Plank from Vision 2020. And then we had tons of events to share. Second Saturday, the Greenwood Cemetery Steps. We talked about the Hy-Vee Today Show with Tony Tone and the Farmers Market with Jennifer DeFosse. We wouldn't want to miss the Muscatine Diabetes Project and Walk with Kim Seligman or the Holiday Stroll. Eagles and Ivories with Dave Ailes and Angela Woodhouse. And Love Shouldn't Hurt, another community event. Red Cross sound the alarm, make sure we got those batteries working. And then the Peace Park proposal with Ann Meeker, she was a lovely guest. Keep Muscatine Beautiful's doing the Almost Friday Fest. And Barnard's Art is a sight to behold. The summer concert series each year, we heard from Duffy DeFrance. And Relay for Life with Ed Chamberlain. We had the Crop Walk. and Paint the Pearl with Chris Anderson. The Boy Scouts gave us a visit too. We heard from Amy on that one. The Chinese Symphony with Dan Stein. We wanted to make sure you knew about all the services like NAMI, Mental Health Crisis Line, the Nature Conservancy, Community Action of Eastern Iowa. Lupe Orr came and talked to us about the heating assistance, Laundry Love with Jim Sammons, and the Jubilee Center with Patsy Lose, another lovely devoted lady. Salvation Army's been on several times. This is Lieutenant Lopez, and now we have Lieutenant Bach. Writing for Success is also a great program right here in our community. We had Milestones Area Agency on Aging and Meals on Wheels, and the Riverbend Food Bank, Neighborhood Gardens. Everybody loves Duffy DeFrance. Family Resources Breaking Traffic, and then we had our very own Muscatine Boxing Club, Santos Sacedo, former councilman. We went out and about too, and that was a ton of fun. We went to the Salvation Army with Lieutenant Bach. We actually showed live from the community block party and from the Pine Creek Grist Mill. We went over and talked to Michelle at County Conservation, and we did the holiday stroll right there. And big thanks to our guest hosts. We had Laura Legis and Kelsey Brackett. Then COVID hit, and we had to pivot in 2020. We had to take some time off from the show. We restarted again in late 2020, but were forced to close down again. But in March of 2021, we resumed programming on a virtual platform, and that continued all the way through till today, and it worked just fine. We had the Director of Muscatine County Public Health, Christy Roby Williams, come on the show, give us updates, talk to us about safety measures and ways we can protect our city. Then we began providing weekly updates on COVID just to make sure that we are all knowledgeable about where we are and what we need to do. Today is our last show. I've enjoyed sharing information with you about our city these past several years. Transparency through regular communication flowing both ways creates a more vibrant, involved, and committed community. I thank each and every one of our guests, viewers, and collaborators for all you've done to connect with our city. I would also like to thank Chad Yoakum, our producer, for bringing this show into your homes. He should be credited with creating and sustaining this program over the years. Please join me in thanking him. Have a very Merry Christmas, and I pray for a happy, safe, and peaceful 2022 for our city.